No, that's good. We'll go with that. How did you know it didn't stop? The ones that do say they're going to stop at Secaucus in the description. The other ones don't stop at Secaucus, I believe. You can turn the wind up pretty high, Sprinter, yeah. Wouldn't call it full force hurricane, though. I love the fact you can walk in here. $18.02, get going in just a moment. So I've got ATC, I've got access switched on, so we're going to go from New Rochelle to Newark with all the safety systems on, and with any luck we won't have any fails. Good shout on the title. Doors locked. Annoying bell off. So ATC is giving us a speed limit of 45 miles per hour, which always takes precedence over anything the HUD is telling us. Speaking of which, we're doing kilometers per hour still. Imperial. We could try driving with this if you want. Just turn the HUD off. How do you mean, is it auto run? I'm driving it. Right, we're cleared up to 100. No, there's no cruise control on this. I think the real one might have. You operate it via the screens down here somewhere. Alright, so access is dropping speed. While it's doubled down, while it's dashed, we're not going to hit it. As soon as it starts showing a time to penalty, we need to back off the speed. $80 kilometers an hour. Just use the accelerometer to keep an eye on speed change. It's gone back up to 100. ATC is automatic train control. It's the essentially it's in-cab signalling rather than which is a very basic form. It's still more more useful than right. Getting a time to penalty show up now. Air brakes on. Fairly severely as it happens. Watch for that speed coming down. As soon as it goes to triple dash, we're underneath the target speed. It's better. Done it. Limit is 45. Had you turn it on the ACS-64? It's 3 switches on the back wall. If you look at the beginning of the video, I turned on 3 switches: the ATC, the alerter, and the access. Use a little bit of e-brake just to maintain speed. Just using the accelerometer in the middle there to watch what's going on. Alright, we've got clearance up to 70 for however long that will last. .60 limit. Having to pay a little bit more attention to what I'm doing because I haven't got the HUD reminding me what's going on. I have to say, I recommend this, particularly this train, because this train you don't need the HUD. Even if you don't know the route, you can just do what the train says to do once you get the hang of driving with access. Good for 70. Right. Is track hour support for TSW? Not yet. Steam controller on the head works a treat though. Right, we've got time to penalty coming up again. So we're slowing down. It's cleared. Drop to 65. Can't be too far from Oak Point. That's it. If you get in time on the brakes, you can just use your e-brake. You don't have to apply air brake. If you get in time, it won't quite brake ahead of the curb, but you can just about match the curb with the e-brake. How much warning does it give us speed restrictions? It seems to depend. Sometimes, like that last one was about 20 odd seconds, but I think the minimum is supposed to be 8 or something like that. Down to 60. We're actually cruising at 60 at the moment, so just ease off. Oh look, there's the yard over there at Oak Point. Going uphill, apply a little bit of power to keep it going. Running a little bit on the slow side at the moment, so a bit more speed. Time to penalties up again. That's it, 40 limit up here. And apply enough power just to keep the accelerometer happy. Getting another drop, but we're already below that speed. You need to acknowledge a speed drop even if you're under the speed. You need to acknowledge any ATC signal change. regardless. No, sorry. In reality, you're supposed to acknowledge any downward speed signal aspect change. You don't. I've not acknowledged anything across this journey so far because the signal aspect hasn't changed. So it's an ATC, which is this. ATC is effectively this bit at the top, and when that bit changes, if it goes down in aspect, then you need to do something about it, and you need to react to the speed. You have to put your brakes into suppression 1.5 meters per second, and so forth, which is measured by the suppression light going on solid. I can speed up a bit up to 50. If it's access that's going down in speed, you just drop your speed. You don't have to acknowledge anything. If the time to penalty hits 0, then you are driving unsafe and the train puts the brakes on. If you imagine that there's a curve going down, time to penalty is when you hit that curve, and that's instant electrocution. Dean Knight, you're enjoying TSW on the PS4. That's fantastic. Glad to hear that, Dean. Steve Jam, so pretty much if you try and do anything the game doesn't want you to, you get stopped. Yeah, it's just like PZB in many respects. You can drive as fast as you like as long as it's not too fast. Back off the power before we start going too fast. Just using the accelerometer to keep track of how fast we're going. This was the reason I wanted to put the accelerometer into the Rosie route, by the way. I got so used to using the accelerometer in the ACS-64, I'm thinking, I want that in all trains. That should be in all trains. Give me it in all trains. Right, put the brakes on a bit just to get hold of the speed because we're going downhill a bit by the looks of it. How do you take a screenshot and zoom in on the outside of the train? If you're on a PS4, I don't think you can zoom. What does it look like when an aspect changes? So this N will light up on a different one. So if you look, you've got 80 and 60 are cab signals. Then you've got limited, medium, restricted, and stop. So essentially, if the aspect goes left, it's more restrictive, and if it goes right, it's less restrictive. What do you mean bad Matt? What have I done now, Ed? G Cook Scotland, the issue you had was when you went from clear to cab speed of 60, you thought you're doing 58, so you thought you were fine. Yes, so even if you're under speed, if the aspect goes down, you still have to acknowledge it. You don't necessarily have to take any other action, but you have to acknowledge that you saw that your aspect has gone down. Alerter just triggered, because I'm not doing anything at the moment. I could speed up here, I just realised. Doing 45 in a 60. Nearly missed that one. Right, speed limit's dropped to 50. You can change the volume of safety systems, I think, Red Devil Dam, or is that just your external? It might be an idea to put something in that allows you to control that, actually. That's not a bad shout. Hey, Batman Ericsson, how are you doing? Just got a little bit of e-brake on, keeping the accelerometer around 0. Going down a hill I can see here, so I'm just going to put in advance of it, put some extra e-brake on. Wow, I'm needing lots of e-brake to keep this thing at the same speed. Now we're slowing down. Lots of power. Accelerate up to 60. Wouldn't be a true-to-life experience, no, but for those that want it left loud, you could do that. For those that just want a comfortable experience, you could turn it down. The point is to give people the option to have the experience that fits what they want to do. It's a bit like the endless battles I've been fighting to get the audio, the alert systems audible from the outside of the cab. But you can't hear them. You can't hear them from the outside in reality. I know, and I wouldn't be flying along beside the train in reality either. Where are we going? New York Penn. So this is going to be an access reduction. So I need to get it into suppression. That's it, and that answers that. Once I'm down below 45, I can release the brake. And then if necessary, apply power to pull back up to my target speed of 45. Going downhill into the tunnel, under East River. Just use the e-brake. Get slowed down here. Oh, did I not make that? Don't think I did. Oops, oh well. D-Night, it'll be on the store in the PS4 when it comes out. Wasn't paying enough attention. .30 limit here. Let's get some e-brake in just to balance off the, because we're going quite sharply downhill at the entrance to East River Tunnel. So we're decelerating now. I do believe we're on our way up now. No, we're still on our way down a bit. Nearly at the bottom. Do you not have access to my analytics, Stephen Jam? because I get it through the analytics. There's graphs on watch time. The one thing you never ever want to do is exceed an ATC speed limit. So if I went over 30 now, it would insta drop you, and you would be getting slowed down rapidly. Doing 27 at the moment. How about getting people to watch more? I don't know. Oh, how would you get watch time up? Yeah, I don't know. All I can assume is that we keep putting videos up, and we get people, and we just keep putting content up that people want to watch. And then if you're not putting content up that people want to watch, then it's not going to get watched. Doing about 28 miles an hour now. It's 27, but we're also now going uphill because we're slowing down. Back off the e-brake now. Dash stick, possible to have a bit more steam on stream? Yes, let's do some steam on the next stream. Put some power, let's get that power leveled off. We're doing 22. Tell them it's a video of you, Moggy. Well, you're here on every stream, yeah? They could witness your words. Maybe we should say that, Stephen, in the video descriptions. Moggy's words can be found here. Latest words of inspiration. Or otherwise. Moggy gives royal wave to YouTube. There you go. It's more, I think, Stephen, it's not that not many people are into rail fanning videos, it's that there's an awful lot of rail fanning videos to choose from. And YouTube isn't presenting yours in search results. So it's really about what can you do to get your videos more searchable. See how much time we've been given on this one, 50 seconds. We're almost out of the tunnel into Penn. That's it, speed has dropped to 15, which is the approach speed. So I had to acknowledge that, even though I'm below 15, I've acknowledged that reduction in speed, G Cook Scotland, and we're all good. But a reduction is normally that high-pitched tone that keeps going on until you acknowledge it. In your video, you only got the chirp, so you acted how I would have expected to act, but actually you've got the wrong audio alarm. That was the issue. I think that's been fixed in our internal version now. Right, pull up track 14. Get our instructions up. I'll wander around out here. Sounds good, Ben. I've already taken one, Stephen, but I'll take another one now. So you have choices. Choices, choices. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Waiting for it to let us go, and then we'll move on to the next station. Ronak, the settings for the safety systems are here. ATC access alerter. If you start a service, you should also do the HEP, the head-end power. Hold it in the start position for a bit, and then let it go back to the on position. Otherwise you don't get the rear light and the coach lights. Time to go shortly. We'll do the second half of the journey. Cargan, fantastic job with TSW. Do you have an issue when the electric trains don't seem to want to go unless you take the throttle all the way down and then back up again? But even still, loving it. One of the best simulator games I've played. That's really good to hear. Thank you very much. One thing you might find, Cargan, is that you get a thing called a traction lockout on throttle control when you apply the brakes. So if you've got power on and you apply the brake, you get a lockout on the throttle, and then you'll have to release the throttle to 0 and then reapply it to be able to apply power again. Right. Newark Penn. So signal is approach. We've got 15 mile an hour limits. 7 miles an hour, 8 miles an hour. That'll do, close enough. 13. Holding around 12 miles an hour at the moment. Dropped from a medium to a restricting, so even though it's still 15 mile an hour limit, we still have to acknowledge it. Suddenly going downhill as we enter the west side. West tunnels. Stephen, the next thing I'm doing when I have a chat with that YouTube guy is I'm going to find out about analytics and some of the questions you're probably thinking. So I'll let you know what happens out of that. Hovering around 0 at the moment on acceleration. Speed limit's just gone up to 20, so just let it speed up, drift up to 20. See you later, Moggy. So currently holding around 19 miles an hour. Nearly at the bottom, then we'll need to come off the brakes and back on the power to keep the speed level. There is an issue at the moment where the signal should not be keeping me at this speed. At this point, there's no need for it. It should be letting me run up to the line speed of 60 miles an hour, but don't know why that is. Plug in the signal somewhere. Right, we're slowing down quite a bit, which means we'll probably hit the bottom. Come off the brake. Yep, we're at the bottom. Get some power on. Dear oh dear. Thank you, folks. Thank you. Gently ease it back up to 20. Yeah, you will because of this, G Cook Scotland, so I won't worry too much about it. Dazzle91, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Lower the acceleration a bit. Got to 18 miles an hour now, so hovering around 0 again now. And TS1 route editor, is there a way to force the crossover tool to make a single slip instead of a double slip? Yep, there is. So you can either click it, I think, to make a double slip, or if you click and drag in one direction, you'll get a single slip in the opposite direction, I think. So if you have a cross like this, and you click and drag, this one gets, I think, the single slip. Something like that. I might be making that up, but it's something like that. So you have to single click it once to get the diamond, I think, and then when you get the grey box, which you'd normally single click to get the double slip, you click drag to get the single slip, if that makes any sense at all. 18 miles an hour. Slowing down a little bit, but we're hovering around 0. The long slog through the west tunnels. No problem at all, big dog? Is there a difference between the amount of controls on the PC and console versions? No, the game is identical. Absolutely identical. To the point that if you plug a keyboard in, you pretty much drive it exactly the same as the PC. Is laying track in TSW the same as in TS? By and large, yes, because it works in TS. But one of the things I am talking to is one of our guys who does all the track laying. I want to get him to show you all how to do it the way he does it, which might make it a lot easier to understand. Editing Well, we'll see, Ronak. I think it's more important that the tools are competent and powerful than anything else, so that you can do what you want to do. You just have to learn how to do it. Hey there, NASCAR. I'm doing very well, thank you. If you plug a mechanical keyboard into PSW PS4, can you zoom in and out? There's no keyboard option for doing that. It's on the mouse, but you might be able to plug a mouse in. I don't know. I've not tried it. In a moment, we should get the speed increase then. Come on. Drifted over the speed limit there. NASCAR, this isn't a Amtrak ACS-64. It's not really about the fact that the keyboard, the PC keyboard has less options than a controller. It's about making sure that all the things that you need, because you don't have exactly the same number of buttons. You can do more on a PC keyboard, but everything you need to do is either on a controller. You know, so there's a hotkey for the wipers, for example. I think there's a hotkey for the wipers on the controller, so that's a bad example. But there's hotkeys for controls. Come on, come on. Hey! There's hotkeys for the controls that aren't there, but you can look at the control and you can operate it. So the fact that it's not got a hotkey is kind of irrelevant. So yeah, everything you can do with the PC, you can do with the controller. But you might not do it in the same way, essentially. .9 miles. We've got a time to penalty coming in. Probably through Secaucus. Hey, nice one, Dashtick. Here it goes. Finally. I think it's a 60 limit. Yeah, it is. No, I was very, very particular, Ben. The rest of the team were as well, that we wanted to make sure that it was the same experience on both platforms. That we didn't put a cut down simulation onto consoles or hold the PC back because of consoles. I mean, that was really, really important. .53 at the moment, speed back up to 60. 90. What are we looking at here? 3.5 miles. Plane coming in, a Newark up ahead. Started to tick down. Just another 60 limit. Big dog, stop stirring trouble. That's a cab signalling aspect. See, you have to acknowledge it. So flashing green is a cab speed, solid green is a clear. So you can see from the signal what's coming up, whether you probably need to acknowledge it. Go downhill. Should be coming up on Newark shortly. Must be Newark Penn. Clear aspect, reduced speed. It's 45 limit. And there's the bridge just before Newark. Harrison. I think you've got it nailed on the head there, Stephen Chan. Hey, anyone here on the Discord, on the Train Sim Community Discord, have you seen what MC Germany fan did? he's painted up an amazing BR143 Doppelstock in pink. It's absolutely fantastic. No. Yeah, alerter, ACS, CS, and ATC. These ones here, Ronick. ATC, ACS, CS, and alerter. Steamer Jam, do you want to pop a link into the chat for the Train Sim Community Discord? It's better. That'll do. Hey. Sliders that one. No, you can't turn the top left off. Never mind. Right. Let's get moving. Hey John, I watch 24 Gaming, how you doing? Next station is Newark Airport, which will be our final station. Speed limit here is 35 miles per hour. Clear aspect, currently doing 15. And accelerating. Turn that racket off. Still showing 35 limits. It's just gone up to 70. Let's get some speed on. Jono, you ring the bell when you're coming in, you ring the bell when you're leaving. It just lets everybody know around you this thing is moving. Because sometimes, particularly when a train is moving slowly, it's not obvious apparently. So it's done, yeah, for safety. Right, that is a different aspect altogether. Let's approach limited. We need to be down to 45, which we are. reapply power to get back up to 45, because the brakes always take a while to get off. That's the problem. We shall have to see, Ronak. At this point, I'm looking like probably not. But I'll let you all know. So we're on a medium aspect at the moment, 30 limit. Wow, it's holding us particularly slow here, isn't it? Just dragging out the last bit of this snow, just mode I. Oh, that's actually the station in front of us there. We're almost there. Moricom, they've changed how they do notifications. Have a look in your Twitch settings and see if there's something in there. But if you're logged into Twitch on the web, they no longer send notifications to your phone or something like that. Another screenshot for you there, Stephen, as well. Shut up, Bell. Job done. Late for everything. I don't care. Well, Shift F12 shouldn't have the mouse cursor on it, should it? I don't think so. Let's try that one then, just in case.